partnership with Veritree, I think, is really big for us. It gives us that next step of like putting our money where our mouth is kind of thing. I was lucky enough that when I won the Clean 50 Emerging Leader Award, I got to go to Toronto and be represented for that. And I ended up meeting an individual named David, and he's actually one of the founders of Tree. And we ended up connecting, chatting quite a bit, and he told me about a new venture that he had just started a few years before that called Veritree, and got me really excited about it. It's something that in the industry hasn't been done before. And what I mean by that is it's an aspect where they can actually guarantee that the trees are being planted, the impact that the tree is being made, and where it's actually being made. So it's through a verification process, where a lot of times what happens within these industries is that you're going to buy 10,000 trees, for example, and you have no clue if they're actually being planted, where they're being planted, are they the right trees that you actually are purchasing, whatever that might be, and what's the actual impact it's making. And where their platform's different is because they're end-to-end encryption and their security on it, and the way that they utilize the platform for photos and providing the data points for it. So you can see exactly how many individuals are working on like your file. So for example, we planted 15,000 trees, I think it was last year. You can actually see, okay, how many of those are already planted, where are they being planted, how many people is that employing within that area? And you can see the direct impact, not just from a carbon perspective of again, reducing carbon footprint or capturing carbon, actually what is the impact on the human at the end of that life cycle. So super, super cool. And I think for us, it shows that, again, we know that we emit carbon as a company. We are not carbon neutral yet. But this is that next step to say, okay, well, we're literally going to put more aspect into something that we've vetted and that we've checked out. That's really cool and a new local Canadian company. So that was a big thing for us. I think the partnership for our clients is that they get to then have that trust that, again, we're doing something good. On top of already getting solar on your home, EV or battery for your house, this is just that nice next step that, hey, your system, we actually offset more of that carbon for us to drive to your house to do all the aspects of the install with planting trees in an area where, again, it's creating jobs and creating economic stimulation for the individuals there. So,
donating 15 trees per solar install is a calculation that was done internally that brings us to carbon neutrality as an organization. The technology that we need to install solar isn't at that point yet. And what I mean by that is some of our vehicles are still ran off gasoline, and some of our devices are also powered by emissions-based energy sources. Now, as we're going through that transition as a species, there's a reality that exists that we'll get there. But in between now and then, we can't do nothing. So we came to the realization that we needed to do something that was easy, not necessarily from our perspective, but from the perspective of our clients, that they could digest what it was that was being shared. And that's where that calculation was driven from. And ultimately, it satisfies our carbon position right now. But our goal and our hope ultimately is to become completely carbon neutral as an organization in everything that we do, and continue raising the bar from a standards perspective.